Hello and welcome to another collection video. This time this video focuses on my entire Warhammer Age of Sigmar collection. As you can see, it's the smallest of all of my collections. I purchased some of the really old Chaos Warriors models back in Warhammer Fantasy, probably about 16 years ago or so, and never really got into it. Always been into 40k, but recently, 3 years ago, I delved into Nurgle and picked up a few of the new models for that range, and then took a bit of a break from it until the very start of 2020, when I purchased the Slaves of Darkness set, the Start Collecting set. I then picked up a couple of the units for the Warcry, including the Gladiators and the Formoroid Crusher and the Myrmidon and the Sphinx, and also I could not resist the awesome Archaon. Very recently I covered all of the Lumineth Realm Lords on the right. We'll zoom into some of these units very soon. And then over in the right hand corner there is a huge spider and a colossal squig and a limited edition Troggoth, and that paves the way for the next army, the Gloomspite Gits. If I was to make and to put all the Gloomspite Gits on this battle mat, it would probably encompass half of the models on here, maybe even more. So that just gives you an idea of how many Gloomspite Gits models I've got to add to this collection. After I've finished the Gloomspite Gits, I'll be moving on to Glock King to boost up the Nurgle side of the force, and I'll probably get a start collecting set of Glock King and of Nurgle again. And after both of those are complete, I'll move on to Ossiarch Bone Reapers, or maybe even look at what Games Workshop have for Warhammer Fantasy the Old World. Really interested to see the minis that they're going to produce for them. So let's move on over to the Nurgle force. I'd like to get a couple more great unclean ones, maybe a Rotigus, definitely more Plague Bearers, Blight Drones, Glockkin, Maggotkin, all the big Gribblies for Nurgle after I've gone through the Gloomspite phase. Keeping in the realms of chaos, there are a couple of units of Marauders, or maybe just a big unit of Marauders there. They're the old ones, and I definitely had fun converting a few of those with big sticks and nunchucks and shields for hats. That was a lot of fun. Then we've got some of the old Chaos Warriors with the square bases, and the new warriors from the set. Over here, again, we've got some of the new Chaos Knights and the Chaos Lord on the Karkadrak. We've also got a few sorcerers, like a Chaos Sorcerer Lord and a Gaunt Summoner of Tzeentch. Fantastic looking model. We've got the Formoroid Crusher and the Myrmidon and the Sphinx, along with some of the Gladiators, and just over there, which I haven't done unboxings or reviews of yet on the channel, is a couple of core models. So that gives you an idea of where the channel's going, probably around the same time as the Nurgle and Glockkin forces arrive. You've got some old Chaos Knights there on the rectangular bases. And of course we have some Varangard, which again haven't featured on the channel yet, and Archaon himself. Definitely the tallest Age of Sigmar model I own. Dwarfs everything else. It's just a fantastic kit. I would recommend it to absolutely anyone because it's gorgeous. And then we've got one of the new Mega Gargants, the Giants. It's a nice kit. It is very expensive. You do have 3 options. Yeah, I've got a review of it. This one is for the Chaos Force there, for the Slaves to Darkness. I will definitely be getting the Kraken Eater for the Gloomspite Gits. And maybe in the future, to go with the Ossiarch Bone Reapers, I'll be picking up the Gate Crusher. Moving over to the right, we have the Lumineth Realm Lords. Quite a controversial army, extremely expensive. We're talking almost £40 for 5 knights. And again, not that far off, just 10 of the normal troops there. They've got next to no customization or changes in aesthetics, with the exception of a couple of the Stone Guard. But the flip side of that, they are gorgeous looking minis, but they're not to everybody's tastes with all the cowls going on. Now, we've got 2 Sprue Techless making an appearance over there. Again, another quite controversial kit, it being only 2 sprues for over £100. It could be worse though. He could be the Void Dragon at 1 sprue for 70. Moving across, we've actually got my first ever Forge World model for Age of Sigmar, which is the Colossal Squig, and he is colossal. He consists of 4 pieces. I put him together in the live stream, then cleaned him up with a load of green stuff. You will need a bit of cleaning up with that model. We've got a very limited edition Rockgut Troggoth there with the Dwarf Slayer. I'm very privileged to own that model, and that is extremely rare. And then we've got a Spider, one of my 2 Arachnaroks for the Gloomspite Git. So we've got a little Gloomspite Git's growing force there, and no doubt it's going to be bolstered by all of the other kits and things I've recently purchased, such as the Battle Force and the Start Collecting set, the Stabbers, the Troggoth Hag, and the Spider Riders, to name but a few. So if you like Age of Sigmar and you're partial to some Gloomspite kits, yeah, they're going to feature quite heavily on this channel, both in the live streams and in the upcoming unboxings and reviews. So there you go. That's my showcase of my quite humble Age of Sigmar collection, consisting of about 6 armies. As I say, it's my smallest collection, but it's about to explode in growth and double in size with the arrival of the Gloomspite kits and my announcement of covering Maggotkin. Hope you've enjoyed this video, having a look at all of my Age of Sigmar miniatures. As I said before, I've always been into Warhammer 40,000 much more than sort of traditional Warhammer Age of Sigmar. But recently I've found 40k to be quite stagnant, a bit boring, lacking of creativity in everything that they've been putting out. Whereas Age of Sigmar, I'm finding gems all the time with the Gits and the Maggotkin, and hopefully the new Chaos models and a few more of the new Realm Lumineth models. And things are only set to improve once GW roll out the old world. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Archaon protects.